Menace Stone, Chapter 10. I spent the rest of the night channel surfing and hoping Stan would call, but there was nothing. Then at 11 o'clock the phone rang. Hello? Silence. Stan, is that you? I sat upright in the chair. Yeah. Where are you? Outside town. Some truck stop. What are you doing? Driving, mostly. Thinking about coming home. Do it. I need a reason, Conrad. Just one. It's just... I struggle for the right words. Better when you're here, Stan. Honest to God. More silence, then a chuckle. Gosh, you miss me. Somewhat, I said, and he laughed. Call your mom, Stan. She's been phoning all over town. I felt a bit bad about saying this, since as far as I knew she'd only made 2 calls, but still. Really? He asked. He sounded like a kid, hopeful. Really, I answered. Maybe I'll do that. And call me when you get home. Sure. I mean it. Yeah, okay. Okay, Conrad? I waited. Thanks, he said, his voice barely a whisper, and then the phone went dead. I felt as if somebody had just rolled a boulder off my chest. I flicked the television off and went to tell someone. The girls were all out. Saturday night. What did I expect? Mom was still at the library, according to the note on the table. I peeked inside Aunt Frida's room, but she looked like she was dozing over her big black book. I went back to the living room. I turned on the stereo. The music filled the corners of the room. All those years of dancing had made it impossible for me to listen to music without my body responding in some way. That's why I didn't listen to music anymore. But now it was like somebody had given me a shot of adrenaline, and I could feel the Latin beat right down to the soles of my feet. The sole of your foot, Miss Fleur would say. The sole, she'd like to repeat, in that irritating way she had, to make sure you hadn't missed the amazing pun. I pushed the sofa to the side of the room, and using it as a substitute bar, I did some hamstring stretches. All the muscles warmed up. I wondered if I could still pull off a triple pirouette. A dancer's limbs extend to infinity, Miss Fleur must have said that 1,000,000 times. I reached as the words echoed inside me. Always up. I reached higher and turned, once, twice, and remembered that place that was in between time, the place that extended to infinity. In the middle of the third turn, I felt someone's eyes on me. Aunt Frida, in her slippers, stood in the doorway. She clapped her hands and grinned. I stopped, suddenly awkward. Oh no, keep going, it looks wonderful. I hesitated, but the sparkle in her eye inspired me suddenly. Actually, Aunt Frida, I hate to dance alone, and I think, I leaned into the music, this is our song. Now it's her turn to look awkward, panicked, actually. No, I couldn't, she said, backing up a couple steps. It's easy, I'll show you. I did a couple of simple steps, your basic slow, quick routine. She didn't move, but when I reached for her parchment paper hands, she didn't resist either. At first she moved like a plank of wood, straight up and down. Find the music, I urged. We did a slow foxtrot, but she moved stiffly, as if she was in the bow of a boat in rolling waves. Just climb right into the music and stay there until you feel it. Gradually I could feel her fragile form relax, and I knew the beat was penetrating. I heard Claude's taunting ballerina boy. What would he say about this scene? But then Aunt Frida laughed. I'm dancing, she said, awed. I pushed Claude out of my head. And now the corner step, I said. Just follow my lead. I moved forward a step, then back one, and we did a half turn. Aunt Frida followed without missing a beat. You're pretty good, I said, impressed. She smiled but didn't say anything. She was concentrating on the steps. When the song was finished, I bowed. Thanks for the dance. Oh my, she said, moving over to her chair and sitting down. My, that was fun. Yeah, and it was. You need to keep dancing, Ben, she said, suddenly stern and grandmotherly. I thought it was a sin. But she didn't smile. Perhaps in your case it would be a sin not to dance. That's when I noticed Mum standing in the doorway. I wondered how long she'd been there. Oh, Catherine, come in. Your son was just teaching me to dance. Could you ever have imagined such a thing? Mum walked over to the stereo and turned down the music. Not off, just down. Her face was creased with tiredness. She smiled limply. You don't mind? She said, pointing to the stereo. I've had such a day. I think I'll go straight to bed. Aunt Frida started to get up. I've baked some strudel. Why don't I make you a nice cup of tea before you go to bed? Mum's eyes crinkled at the corners. That would be lovely. She sounded grateful. I tried to remember the last time anyone offered to make her a cup of tea, and I couldn't. Then the door flew open, and the twins piled in, chattering in tandem as usual. Ooh, good song, Mad said, flinging her cape on the couch. I must dance. It is in me. Come on, Benny, Twinkletoes. She held her hand out. I shook my head. Aunt Frida looked at me, a questioning look in her eyes, but I looked away. I couldn't dance. My sisters Sister just nagged me to take it up again. What happened tonight wasn't about that. It was about being nice to an old lady who'd never danced before. That was all. It had nothing to do with my life. I'm tired. I'm going to bed." The twins looked disappointed, until Beth yipped as she spotted something in the kitchen. "Strudel!" she yelled. "Aunt Frida, you didn't." She sounded as excited as if one of her fireman calendar men was sitting on the counter waiting for her. "I need to know how you did this," she hollered from the kitchen. "I'm coming," Aunt Frida answered. "You'll be all right?" she said to me. "I'm fine." The noise in the kitchen rose as both Beth and Matt tried to out-twin each other. My feeling of lightness slipped away. End of chapter 10.